Hey, all right. Can everybody hear me? Everyone can see me? Good. Okay. So, I mean, Seneca, that opening was so good. He's talking about rise and stand up. I said, I'm going to go ahead and just get his presentation standing up. No point in sitting down. We might as well go ahead and stand up. So I know I don't have all of too much time with you guys. So I want to make this, short, sweet, to the point, and make sure we get into this thing and you guys are able to leave this with some deliverables, some things that you can actually use immediately. So the title of this presentation is called The Dash. And I completely understand what some of you students are because I was there before. Like you in school and some of y'all saying to yourself, I can't stand school. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be like, come on, bro. Like you telling me I got to come here every day, when I got to come in, when I can leave, when I can eat lunch. I got to ask for permission to go to the bathroom, and like all these different things. Like you got control over me. Like, and I don't like that. I don't like people having control over me or my life. Let me tell you something. If you want to get to the point where you have full control over your life and you get to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life, then it's going to apply.
Black
it's good. You're going to actually need to apply your attention and focus and effort to the classroom, to your education. That's the only way that you actually get control over your life. So I remember I was struggling. I was struggling in school. And I went to my mom one day. I had one of my conversations on the phone with her. I said, Mom, man, like I'm doing my best in school, but I can't stand this. Like it's just not working out. Things aren't going the way that I think it should be going. I don't like the way that they talk to me and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. If any of y'all know about my story, man, I spent 10 years in special ed classes. So I couldn't stand being in school. I couldn't stand that. Like the mental warfare that I was going through in them classrooms. Like people telling me that I'm dumb, stupid, remedial. Like, come on, some of y'all have been through it. Right? Maybe your struggle is not the educational system. Maybe it's not special ed classes, but you have some form of adversity that you've been dealing with when it comes to school, when it comes to home, whatever it might be. But all I'm telling you is if you have somebody that you can attach yourself to that can speak life into you, then you better hold on to them and you better not let them go because that might be your saving grace. Right? And we don't always get a second chance. So you better hold on to that person because you don't know how long we're going to have them. Right? So I talked to my mom. I said, Mom, I'm struggling. And she said, I was like, how do I get through this? How do I deal with this or whatever? And like, they're going to be talking about me like this for the rest of my life, Ma, that I was a special ed kid, that I was stupid, I was dumb. Like, but they're going to be talking about me like this for the rest of my life. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. And she said, Brad, you know about me and your father. You know what we went through, right? So my mother and my father, they were, in the nicest way possible for me to say this, my mother and my father were very popular urban pharmacists, okay? Very popular urban pharmacists. We'll just leave it at that, right? And from there, they then went on the straight and narrow, got themselves together, right? And unfortunately, they became heroin addicts, right? They fell victim to heroin. And they fought themselves through that. They fought back through that adversity for them to get back to a point where they were like, okay, we're good. We can stand on our own 2 feet. We're doing our thing. We working. We can sustain. We can take care of our kids. We can take care of our family. We're good, right? We can raise them the right way. Cool. So my mom said to me, you know all that me and your father that we've gone through. And you're telling me that you can't deal with the school system. You can't take a test. You can't take a quiz. You know all the things that our ancestors have gone through. And you telling me you can't take a quiz? You can't do a test? You can't come to school every day? You can't wake up on time? You telling me you can't do these simple things, these simple tasks? I hear kids saying it all the time, man. They tell their teachers, man, y'all doing too much. No, the problem is you're not doing enough. That's the problem. Right? You're not focused. You're not locked in. You're not focused on what what you're doing right now, how that would affect you in the future. So when I asked my mom and I complained to her about what was going on, and I told her about the struggles, how I want people to talk about me, like she said, listen, Brad, you think that people care about what you're dealing with right now. I don't care. She's like, I don't care. I really don't. Because you got to deal with this. You got to get through this. Right? So just do the work. Do what you need to do. I said, well, Ma, how did you get through it? She's like, well, when you look at a tombstone, when someone passes away and you go and look at that tombstone, you see the date of when they were born, and then you see the date of when they passed. I said, yeah, okay. She said, well, I don't care about the date when a person is born, and I don't care about the date of when that person passed. Only thing I care about is the dash. When I die, when I'm no longer here, I just want people to talk about the dash. I don't want them to talk about the beginning. I don't want them to talk about the end. So the dash is all that matters. And the dash is what you did with the life that you had while you were here. That is the dash. And I said, you know what? That's not enough. Let me break it down for you guys. And because I believe that each one of those letters, that creates the acronym. So I'm going to break that down for you. So the dash, right? The D stands for destination, right? You have to begin with the end in mind. You have to know where you're actually trying to get to. What are you trying to do with your life? I understand that you want to be a rapper. I understand that you want to go to the NFL or the NBA. I understand you want to be a scientist or whatever it is that you want to do with your life. But what I'm telling you is you have to begin with the end in mind and know how you're going to get there. I don't care what it is that you want to do. I don't. I live your life. Be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. I'm cool with that. But what I'm saying is you need to have a destination. You have to have a plan. You have to know how you're going to get there. And you also need to understand that education, being in school, middle school, high school, and possibly college might be the one thing that sets you apart from everybody else that's a part of that industry. I don't know. Here, let me help you out. There's plenty of rappers out there who didn't last because they didn't read their contract, or they didn't know how to read it, or they couldn't do basic mathematics and know that they was getting gypped on their money. So I'm not telling you that you can't be a rapper, you can't be a singer, or you can't be an entertainer. You can, go ahead, but be smart about it. Know the industry, know it inside and out. Don't just go in there and be like, oh, I'm talented, I can rap, I'm good, I'm this and that. So what? Yo, there's somebody out there that was better than Jordan that didn't get a chance. Why? Because he didn't know what he was doing. You can't go, like, you understand, you want to go to the NBA, great, you got to make it into a college. You got to go D1. It doesn't happen just by happenstance and by talking about it and being good with your crossover. That don't work like that. You have to have a certain work ethic. You have to have a certain drive, and you have to have the certain mentality. Then on top of that, you got to have at least a certain level of intelligence. We have to know that we can trust you with something. So the first one is destination. You have to begin with the end in mind. The second one is awareness. You have to know what it's going to take for you to get there. You need to know what your strengths and your limitations are. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm strong when it comes to speaking. That's my gift. That's what I do. I lean very heavily on that. I'm not the strongest when it comes to writing. I'm not the strongest when it comes to mathematics. So if I need help in those areas, I don't just sit there and just dwell and woe is me and like, oh, I can't write. Oh, I'm not good at math. This isn't going to work. No, I went and got help. I didn't get my master's degree by sitting around waiting for other people to pity me. No, I decided that I would go get the help that I needed. I would humble myself and say, you know what? I do struggle in this area. I do need some help, right? It's okay to ask for help. So I went and got a tutor. I asked my wife for help because she's better at those things than I am, right? So awareness is key. Awareness is the thing that will save your life. Awareness is the thing that will get you in the rooms that other people won't be able to get into because you know how to navigate the room. You know what to do. You know what to say. You know how to move. Stop playing around with this life that you got, thinking that people are going to give you a handout when they're not. I promise you, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that your heart desires, you can have it as long as you are aware of what it takes to get it. Okay, we're going to keep it pushing, right? Because I want to respect everybody's time. I want to make sure we get this all in, right? All right, the S is for selflessness. Come on, bro. Are you doing what you're doing? Is these goals and aspirations, these things that you want to get, are you doing it? Or do you only want it because of the money, the cars, the clothes, the women, the house? Is that it? Or is it tied into somebody else? Is it tied into your legacy? Is it tied into the dash? Is it tied to how you want people to view you when you're no longer here? It's got to be bigger than just money, cars, and clothes. It's got to be more than just fame and fortune. It's got to tie into your family, who you are, your character, like your core values. It has to tie into that. It's got to be selfless. It can't be materialistic things. Because I promise you, listen, I've said it before. If you're consistent, you'll get it. But if you're persistent, you'll keep it. You ain't, all right, y'all ain't here, but it's cool. I'm telling you, you better pay attention. You better get it. You better catch it. Because I promise you, you're not going to get that many chances in life. So stay focused and get the gems that you need right now so you can actually implement these things and get come on, get to the success. I want you to win. As young as you are, I want you to win now. You shouldn't have to wait till you're in your 30s. You shouldn't have to wait till you're in your 40s. Get it now. Get it now. But you got to apply the stuff that we're going to tell you. All right, last thing, and we got to get out of here. Humility. Humility. That's the H. Humility. And this might be one of the most important ones. Why? Because I genuinely believe that you're going to attain whatever it is that you want. Because you're here on this call, that tells me that you care. So you're going to get whatever it is that you want out of life. Here's the thing. When you get it, how you gonna act? How you gonna act after you get it? When you get the money, the cars, when you get your dreams, when you get your heart's desires, how are you gonna act afterwards? Are you still gonna be that same person that they remember back in high school, middle school? Oh man, they were so like, oh, they were so caring and loving. Man, they were great. Always a smile on their face. Are you gonna turn into that ugly individual where it's like, yo, who is this person? Where they even come from, bro? I know your father. You're not even like that. Your parents ain't raised you like that. I'm just saying, be humble. Be humble. Because I promise it's gonna be, listen, this one thing I can promise you, some blessings are gonna come your way. You're gonna get some blessings, some opportunities are gonna happen for you. But if you don't take full advantage of it, if you ain't humble with that thing, those might be the last ones that you get. So be humble. That is the dash. So I'll leave you with this. I'm closing. I'm getting out of here. As I close, if you don't remember anything else, I just want y'all to remember this. I want you to be careful of your thoughts because your thoughts become your words. Be careful of your words because your words become your actions. Be careful of your actions because your actions become your habits, and be careful of your habits because your habits become your legacy, and that is how the world is going to remember you. Listen, my name is Brad B-Rad Butler II. I encourage every last one of you to make your next day your best day. Why? Because the work you've done today is not enough to get you through tomorrow. Thank you.